All right. Outdoor recreation is not new to Wyoming, but with more people recreating than ever before and a surge of interest in outdoor recreation development, change is on the wind. This forum, Building It the Way We Want It, is meant to provide time and space to think about what that change means for our state and how we can move forward while holding true to our values. Together, we are tasked with thinking about how Wyoming communities can balance the benefits and the impacts of outdoor recreation economically, socially, and environmentally. We're going to try to imagine a thriving outdoor recreation future and envision how to work towards that goal. My name is Birch Malotky, and I'm the Emerging Issues Initiative Coordinator for the Ruckelshaus Institute, which is a division of the Haub School of Environment and Natural Resources that's focused on supporting stakeholder-driven solutions to natural resource challenges. To me, supporting stakeholder-driven solutions means listening to all of you, to what you're concerned about, and to what your ideas are. It means providing the conditions and the connections for learning, growth, and collaboration. And it means believing in the power of bringing together people who care. This room is a wealth of knowledge and experience. And as much as we say that Wyoming is a small town with long streets, those can be some pretty long streets. And as we were reminded of often of this winter, they can not be open all the time. I'm glad you all made it here. What I mean to say is that there can be a lot of barriers to pooling the wisdom in this room, from planners to funders, to researchers, to managers, to permitters, to users. This forum is about removing those barriers by getting together everyone with skin in the game and something to say, so that we can see what kinds of fruit that cross-pollination might bear. That cross-pollination, this gathering, has been the purpose of all of the Ruckelshaus Institute's emerging issue initiatives. Whether the focus is outdoor recreation, as it is this week, or wind energy or big game migration, as it has been in previous years, these forums are a chance to get ahead of an issue, to jumpstart conversation, to identify gaps, and to build and strengthen networks. Those are our goals for the next 3 days. Not just to sit and listen to people up on a stage, but to do something meaningful to foster sustainable outdoor recreation development and to care for the stunning places where it happens. Today, we are gathered on the ancestral and traditional lands of the Cheyenne, Arapaho, Crow, and Shoshone Indigenous peoples, along with other Native tribes who call the Great Basin and Rocky Mountain region home. Further, we recreate on lands and waters that were made uninhabited by the forced removal of Native peoples from their homelands. I invite us all to recognize, support, and advocate alongside Indigenous individuals and communities who live here now, with those asserting their sovereignty and reclaiming connection to the land through recreation, and all those who have and continue to steward the land. I invite us to cultivate a relationship of reciprocity with the places we live and recreate, to not only play in them, but to also respect, love, and learn from them as we respect, love, and learn from each other. To further ground this forum in purpose and community, you've been asked to prepare a short story about why you're here. I'm going to start by sharing my story, and then you'll have 15 minutes to share with the people at your table. And if you have a full and vibrant table and you notice some friends who have a smaller table, feel free to sort of drift over and even out the numbers. So when I arrived in Laramie, it had been 8 years since I had lived in the same building for more than 6 months. Through all that time, all the transiency, outdoor recreation was a constant. While friends told me about how difficult it was to meet people in new cities, I was always able to find community at the local crag, on the trails, and nerding out over spring wildflowers and the spring migration. But there was also something about mountain culture that wasn't fully satisfying to me, so I never stuck around for very long. I came to Laramie for grad school, and as well as the draw of amazing access to outdoor recreation. I stayed in Laramie because Laramie has something to offer that the other access-rich mountain towns I had lived in didn't. That was a sense that people are here for each other and not just for the trailheads. That was really something really exciting to me, and it was something I wanted to be a part of. So last summer, I was really excited to purchase my first house. It's 100 years old and it's been a ton of work, but it feels like the good kind of work, like I'm investing in my future. I see it as a long-term commitment to making this place my home. And to me, that commitment means trying to add value for my fellow Laramigos and Wyomingites. So I'm here for work, but doing that work because I want to invest in the future of this state. And I'm honored to support this meeting of minds around a topic that's not only near and dear to my heart, but also of growing importance to the state's identity and future. Thank you all for being a part of that. And now it's your turn. Why are you here? Why is outdoor recreation important to you? And what do you want to get out of this forum? Go ahead and introduce yourselves to each other and start storytelling. I'll call you back in about 15 minutes. This is a 2-minute warning. If we could all come back together, please. Thank you all for sharing your stories. I know I enjoyed hearing from my table, and hopefully you all enjoyed that as well. Really quickly, I want to point out the placards that are on each of your tables. So there's a QR code on top that'll take you to the full agenda. We're trying to minimize our printing waste. Then that has speaker bios and everything like that, and information for the field trip, etc. And then the bottom QR code will take you to our online Q&A platform. So we're not going to be having a live mic during Q&A sessions. It's going to be online. It's called Slido. Please find your phone or a computer or a friend sometime before the panel at 10:35, and get logged in. It's pretty simple. I want to give a really big thank you to our invaluable partners and co-conveners at the Worth Initiative and the Office of Outdoor Recreation, both of whom you'll hear from this morning. This forum would not have happened without you. I also want to thank our sponsor, Albany County Tourism Board, and I highly recommend that you enjoy some of what Laramie has to offer while you're here. For example, I know the Spring 2023 pop-up art walk kicked off this morning. So there's live music and local artists in all the downtown businesses right now. With that, I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Dan McCoy, who's the director of the Worth Initiative. That's the Wyoming Outdoor Recreation, Tourism, and Hospitality Initiative. He'll talk more about that shortly. Dan brings an incredible depth of experience in outdoor recreation to the table. From running the University of Wyoming's outdoor program for almost 20 years to creating the Outdoor Recreation and Tourism Management degree in the Haupt School, to his own varied recreational pursuits and extracurricular advocacy and stewardship. As a colleague and a friend, Dan is always there to pick up the phone, knows a lot about fixing old houses, and is deeply passionate about his work. After the last year of working together to craft this forum, I can tell you that in thoughtfulness, enthusiasm, and a memory for names, Dan stands head and shoulders above the rest. Please help me welcome Dan McCoy.
Wow, well, let's put this up a little bit higher here. Yeah, head and shoulders, maybe literally. Thank you, Birch, for that great introduction. And wow, it is really wonderful to see you all here today as part of the Outdoor Recreation Forum. Before I start talking about the Worth Initiative, I want to share with you all some of the reason, my story and why I'm here. Outdoor recreation is really vitally important to me, my family, and my community here in Laramie. I've been involved in outdoor recreation in Wyoming for almost 24 years. I'm a rock climber, a skate skier, a bike commuter, a fat biker, a hiker, a dog walker, a dirt bike rider, a wildlife watcher, a snowboarder, not in this order, and also a mountain biker recovering from a pretty serious accident recently. So that's been an interesting journey in my life. In addition, I've also taught many of those activities, like Birch mentioned, for better part of 20 years to students in outdoor recreation, and helped, like Birch said, start and develop it was really a wonderful opportunity to help start and run the Outdoor Recreation Tourism Management degree, the Outdoor Leadership minor, and also our online outdoor guide certification program. So it's critical to me for people to have successful outdoor recreation experiences, because I've seen those experiences firsthand transform people's lives. And those successful outdoor experiences lead to better physical and mental health outcomes. They lead to a stronger sense of community, which Birch talked about, and they lead to positive economic impact for our communities. In addition, I've watched hundreds of people learn that they were capable of doing something that they didn't previously think that they were capable of doing through the power of outdoor recreation. People who also participate in these experiences are way more likely to advocate for the protection of these places. And with increasing urbanization and fewer youth participating in outdoor recreation, we need more advocates for the protection of these places. And speaking of protection, I also know that outdoor recreation infrastructure and participation can have negative impacts on the environment, and we need to minimize those impacts because we all love the abundant wildlife we see, functioning ecosystems, clean air, and water. However, not all communities have easy access to outdoor recreation, and many other barriers to participation, such as cost, time, location, and also those perceived barriers, like I'm not good enough, or I don't feel like I belong here. So my hope for the next few days is that we break down those barriers to participation, given the importance and power of outdoor recreation. So I just want to speak just briefly about what the Worth Initiative, what that's about. Really, the mission of the Worth Initiative is to support, expand, and diversify Wyoming's economy through outdoor recreation, tourism, and hospitality industries. And we're doing that by delivering timely and relevant applied research for Worth-related industries, supplying diverse workforce training products and services to students and working industry professionals, and providing extension and outreach to the industry across Wyoming. As a co-convener of the forum, we are thrilled to have you all here to discuss the challenges and opportunities with outdoor recreation for our communities in the state. And it's my hope to use the outcomes from this forum to help set a roadmap for our role as a university and the Worth Initiative to support outdoor recreation going forward across the state and in your communities. So in addition, I hope we all leave the forum at the end with new ideas, fresh perspectives, feeling invigorated to take on new projects or expanding existing opportunities for engaging people in the outdoors. So now that I know, now that you all know why I'm here, I'm also just kind of quickly hoping to kind of recognize those of you who are here. First, I want to ask those of you who are from state or federal land management agencies, if you could just please stand up. All right, there's our group right there. Thank you all for coming. Okay. The next group I'd like to recognize is if you're with a nonprofit that either advocates for or supports or is adjacent to outdoor recreation, to please stand up. Great. Thank you all. How about our students in the audience? Are they awake yet? All right, we got a couple. All right, good. Awesome, great. Thank you all. You guys are the future of this industry. If you're with a local community, or excuse me, a local county, tribal, or federal governmental agency, such as legislators, legislative representatives, UW, or community colleges, could you please stand up? All right. Great. And also for those of you who are business owners in the outdoor recreation space, could you all please stand up? And there might be a couple. Yeah, there we go. Jen back there. All right, thank you. And finally, if I did not adequately categorize you, would you mind please standing up and also being recognized? Okay, I got everybody. That's pretty good. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, finally, if you recreate in the outdoors, would you please stand up? Hey, there we go. All right. Great. Well, we all have something there in common for sure. Okay, so with that, I'd like to, it's my distinct honor to introduce Dave Glenn, who is the Acting Director of Wyoming State Parks and Cultural Resources. Dave has worked professionally in the field of outdoor recreation, outdoor education, and conservation industry for over 40 years. He's worked at marinas, managed a remote fly-in destination lodge in Alaska, cleaned many outhouses, worked over 200 weeks in the field as an instructor for NOLS, and he let me know that he actually one year he spent only 3 nights in a bed indoors, which is that's pretty impressive. He's also directed the Knowles Rocky Mountain and Knowles Professional Training Divisions. In his current role as Director of Wyoming State Parks and Cultural Resources, includes oversight of all Wyoming State Parks and historic sites, the Wyoming State Motorized and Non-Motorized Trails programs, and the Wyoming Outdoor Recreation Office. So without further ado, Dave Glenn.